The Toronto Raptors stay busy in free agency, adding Alex Len to their now arsenal of centers. So, what role is Alex Len going to take for the Toronto Raptors as they head into next season? Let's get into it. Welcome to Amateur Hour Sports, where we just hit 1,000 subscribers on the channel. Thank you so much to everybody who has been pouring on the support this last month. It has been an absolutely insane month for this channel. I'm just so grateful for all the people who just genuinely love tuning into the videos, love hearing what I have to say, participating in the discussions in the comments down below. It's been so much fun over the last little while. This is actually the 7th day in a row that there is an upload on this channel. Typically, it's 4 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, but to be honest, it's just been so much fun. There's been so much Raptors content coming out recently, and you guys watching it have made it really fun for me, so I'm just continuing to do it, and we're continuing today. Make sure, before we get started, if you like what you see in today's video and you want more of myself talking about the Toronto Raptors, usually 4 days a week, but, for today, 7 days in a row, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and join the movement of the channel for yourself as well. But on to our topic of the day. Alex Len is a Toronto Raptor. We went in a 24-hour span after losing Serge Ibaka. We went from our only centers on the roster being Duan Hernandez and Fred VanVleet sitting on top of Kyle Lowry's shoulders to signing Aaron Baines, to signing Chris Boucher, and now to signing Alex Len. We now have a lovely little mix of centers, centers who offer different things. All three of these centers provide different things. Aaron Baines provides this stretch big who can shoot the threes and get busy in the paint. Chris Boucher, the athletic big, maybe trending towards the modern style of centers. And Alex Len, who is a very old school, paint-oriented glass cleaning center. Alex Len signed a 1-year deal worth $2.3 million. I had a hunch when we signed Baines and Boucher for those prices that we weren't done in free agency and that we needed more rebounding off the bench. And this is exactly what the Raptors needed when they got Alex Len. So if you don't know a lot about Alex Len, well, let me introduce you to the definition of a role player. Alex Len is not a groundbreaking, world-beating signing by any means. He's pretty average from an offensive standpoint, and he's pretty average from a defensive standpoint. Where he is above average and he excels is his rebounding ability. His rebounding ability and also his screen ability, especially in some pick and roll scenarios. Now, we did have our struggles last year with Ibaka and Gasol in the rebounding department. We just didn't quite rebound enough, especially in that Boston Celtics series. We got out-rebounded a little bit more for my liking. We need to fix that up. I think Aaron Baines can provide a spark there. Alex Len will definitely help there. I don't think that Alex Len is going to be getting a ton of minutes. Maybe he won't even feature in some games, but he has his role on the team. Absolutely. Aaron Baines likely going to be that starting center for the Toronto Raptors. I have my full video on Aaron Baines yesterday. I don't need to dive into him anymore. Let's just say I'm really excited about the prospect of Baines playing for the Raptors. Go check out that video if you want. Baines going to be the starter. Chris Boucher likely going to be the backup. Alex Len likely the third choice center. Aaron Baines, pretty injury prone, so it's good to have Alex Len, that extra big in the arsenal of players to come in case that happens. Chris Boucher, maybe in some games where he's outsized, Alex Len is going to have to take a bigger step up in terms of his minutes because Chris Boucher can't really compete. I think it was a smart decision by the Raptors management to bring in a player like Alex Len. Alex Len is a 7-footer who in his per 36 last season averaged almost 12 rebounds a game. This guy loves getting rebounds, especially with that size. He's a big presence in the paint as well. He's going to be a nice piece to have off the bench. He's not getting a ton of minutes again. But, as a third choice center, when we need rebounding, when we need size in the paint, Alex Len is going to be that guy. And on the offensive end, can provide those screens, is decent in the pick and roll, is just going to be that good backup player. Like I said, Baines is consistently getting injured, so it's good to have choices. It's good to have different types of players, and I think Chris Boucher is going to be the one backing up Aaron Baines, but it's nice to have Alex Len. Now, we have to look at this signing and how it affects Chris Boucher, because Chris Boucher signed for about $7.5 million a year a few days ago to be that backup center, I assume. Now we signed Alex Len. So what does that mean for Chris Boucher's role on the team? I think that ultimately the Raptors want to work with Chris Boucher as that backup center. They want to work with him as their project. They want to develop him because he's been within the system for a few years now. They want to make him better and grow him into that role. Maybe if we move on from Aron Baynes, Chris Boucher can be that starting center. But Alex Len coming in provides that old school center where he's going to get those rebounds. He's going to be that presence in the paint that maybe Chris Boucher is not going to be. Now we're hearing that, sure, Chris Boucher is bulking up over the summer, but still maybe a little bit undersized at 6'9", 6'10", maybe a little bit undersized. So it's good to have this extra piece involved. Will it cut into Boucher's playtime? Maybe. I think now Chris Boucher really, really needs to earn that backup center spot because I'm sure with the money he's getting paid that the Raptors want him to have that role. But if he underperforms, a guy like Alex Len, who is a bit of a veteran in the NBA now, going into his 8th season, he has experience as an NBA player. Never really as a key figure on offense or defense, but, has his role within these teams like Phoenix, like Atlanta, and Sacramento very briefly, has his role within these teams. And you know what? Alex Len is starting to learn to shoot the three. In his last full season with the teams with the Atlanta Hawks, he shot 36% from three on 204 attempts. So 74 makes on 204 attempts from the 7-foot center. This is promising. And the Raptors team, who loves shooting the three ball, 3-and-D type players, if they can get a little bit more out of Alex Len, maybe he can provide a little bit extra than what they were planning with his $2.3 million contract. So, Chris Boucher, I think that backup spot is still his, but now he really needs to earn it. He has this guy behind him, a little bit of inter-team competition to boost every player, to get every player a little bit better. If there's a competitive nature within the team, it can help spark a player to perform even better against other teams. And I think that's kind of the thinking here. It's also the durability issue with Aron Baynes involved, but Alex Len nonetheless is a decent pickup for the Toronto Raptors here. And you also have to consider the fact that, Chris Boucher, yes, the Raptors' developmental project, they want to work with him, but you have to also consider Chris Boucher is older than Alex Len. So yeah, Chris Boucher is this development piece that the Raptors want to work on, and he's getting better every year, but he's also older than Alex Len. And sure, it's only a mere 6 months older, but when we look at Alex Len, we look at a guy who's been in the NBA for 8 years now and hasn't really turned into anything but a role player. We know what we're going to get out of Alex Len, but Chris Boucher, who is 6 months older than him, we're looking at him like a development piece. So don't just ignore the fact that Alex Len is just coming to be nothing on the bench. Don't just consider that. Consider the fact that Alex Len is coming in to provide a role for the Toronto Raptors. Not be a significant piece, like in a playoff situation, probably wouldn't touch the court at all. But over the course of, I think it is the 72-game season, Alex Len can provide us some much-needed rebounding and size off the bench. If there is a game where we're playing a big team like the Philadelphia 76ers and Chris Boucher maybe can't cut it on the interior, Alex Len can be an important piece. And if we can work on that three-point percentage for Alex Len, get him shooting even more threes more efficiently, I think we have a decent player here who can just contribute on offense and contribute on defense. He doesn't need to make us better from offense and defense, but he doesn't look like he's going to make us worse either. He looks like just a nice role player who has the ability to turn into something potentially. Chris Boucher is the priority to work with, but it's nice to have options. It's nice to have those options. And at a very cheap contract, it is a very low risk, in fact, a no risk maneuver here getting Alex Len. Just a smart play by the Toronto Raptors management team yet again. I've been saying all throughout the week, I believe in Masai to make the right decisions, and I believe he has in signing Aron Baynes, Chris Boucher, and Alex Len now for those center depth positions. Duan Hernandez was a name talked about in my comments a little bit, how it seems like he's kind of priced out of this situation. I don't think Duan Hernandez is ready to take that step into the NBA just yet. I'm hoping that we can work with him, develop him into that piece, but right now we needed a player to contribute this season. Alex Len is a guy who can contribute this season. We know exactly what he brings in his role. Alex Len, having watched a little bit of tape on him, knows exactly what his role is. He's not out there constantly asking for the ball, trying to get fed the ball. He's there doing his job, allowing the stars and the better players to thrive on the court. One of the biggest things I like about Alex Len is the hustle aspect. He's another great hustler, just like Baynes. He's going to work himself into the ground every game for the team. Whenever he's on the court, even if he gets 5 minutes a game, he's going to give 100% effort in those 5 minutes. And maybe he's not as talented as the other players in the court, but I like seeing a guy come in and work for the city, work for the team, work for the Toronto Raptors, and he is definitely going to provide that for us. Last season, Chris Boucher averaged 13 minutes a game and 6.6 points. I think there is great potential for Chris Boucher to be the 6th or 7th guy in the rotation, maybe be in a big lineup with Baines at center, Chris Boucher at power forward to give Pascal Siakam some reps, but predominantly we're looking at Chris Boucher as the backup center. So there's potential to take a big jump here for Chris Boucher, and this needs to be the season for him. This needs to be the season where he does take that jump. But nice to have this rotation of centers at our disposal for what we need in specific games. Chris Boucher is obviously the desirable backup center. Still want to be proved about his size and his ability to play in the low post, but I'm excited about the opportunity for him to prove it to me this season because clearly he is the choice at backup center. There's not much else I can really say about Alex Len. Just a solid player, just a solid bench piece, a solid role player who excels at getting rebounds, hustling, and setting hard screens for our guards. This is exactly what the Raptors needed in a third choice center. Great pickup by the Toronto Raptors. I am very excited for the season coming up. I think we had a fantastic free agency. I think we had a fantastic NBA draft. Just looking forward to seeing Raptors basketball again. So that will wrap up this video. Again, you don't need to say too much about Alex Len. You just know what he's going to bring you. But some of you guys maybe aren't familiar with Alex Len. That's my little spiel on him. That's my little talk about him and what I think it means for the Toronto Raptors to bring him in. But let me know what you think about this decision in the comments down below. Do you think it was a good move bringing in Alex Len? Did you want to see somebody else coming in? There's probably a few available, but I think Alex Len at 7 feet and potential to learn how to shoot the three is a good pickup. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. But that wraps it up for me. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, please like the video if you like and subscribe to Amateur Sports for more content just like this. Again, very appreciative of everybody who did hit that subscribe button because we just hit 1,000 subscribers and we are just getting started on the channel. Join the movement for yourself as well. At the end of the day, I believe what I say. If you disagree, that is okay. We'll see you again next time for another video.